Hello YouTube, and welcome back to my Ableton tutorial series. I've got a really special video for you today. We're going to take an in-depth look at how to create an EDM track from start to finish using samples, MIDI sequences by slicing the sample and one-shots. Okay, let's get started. First of all, we're going to build the intro section, and we're going to have 24 bars of intro. Okay, let's go. First of all, you can want an audio track. If you haven't got an audio track ready, go to create and click on insert audio track like that. We'll just get this one. Then right click on the channel, go to rename or Control R as a shortcut and type in melody. Sorry, type in intro melody. Then right click on the channel again and give it a color so we can easily differentiate. We'll give it a deep dark blue. Then what we're going to want to do, if you want to follow along with the sounds I'm using, see the description, the link is in the description to the samples that I'm using. Feel free to use those, or if you just want to study how I'm doing this, feel free to use your own samples. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to melody. Excuse me while I just flip through these samples to try and find one out of one. That's pretty good. So we'll drag that out onto there. Then what we'll do, we go to audio effects, we're going to do some EQing now. And then we'll left click on EQ8 and drag an instance of EQ8 out onto the audio channel for your melody. Then click on the sample, press Ctrl L to loop it. Play it back. Turn EQ band 1, click on that. And turn it up to 195 Hz. And then click on the option down here, the toolbox, drop down menu, and click on this one, raw for the low end. Then click on frequency 2, turn it up to 500 Hz on the frequency, or say 502. And turn the gain down to about -290, then turn the Q all the way up to 9 or 10, whichever one you want, say 901. Then leave 3 where it is on 1 kHz, but turn it down to -1 decibel, 105 say, and put the Q on 6, say 601. Then click on band 4 and move that down to a good presence level. I've done some experimenting for presence, and the best presence level is 3.25. Turn that up to 155 and put the Q on 750, on there, 750 as you can get it. Excuse me. Then click on this box down here for number 5 so we can have an extra EQ band. Click on that. Drag the frequency all the way over till we get to 18 kHz. Then click on the drop down box for number 5 and click on this raw for the high end brick wall. Then where it says number 4, click on this toolbox here and select this frequency band, sorry, this frequency modulator, whatever it's called, that one there. And when we play it back, it sounds good. What we've actually done there is chop some of the bass out, and we've made the frequency, we've altered the frequency now, so that when the drums or whatever else is overlaying the sound when it plays, it'll lead it to be less congested, allowing more of all the instruments to come through. Then what we do is we right click on the sample and we go to slice the new MIDI track. Sorry for coughing, I've got a cold I'm still getting over. Make sure it's set to create one slice per half note and leave it on built-in. Click OK. But when we play back, that'll be slightly lower in volume. Listen to the transition from the melody sample to the melody now MIDI sequence. As you can see, it's a lot lower in volume. We'll just quickly click on this channel and we'll hold down Control left click and let go of the mouse button on this one so we duplicate the EQ rather than move it. Then we'll do a click back on there, press Control and L to loop. Then we'll click down here on the MIDI clip. We'll click on 1/2, right click on the grid somewhere, go to 1/2 note, make sure the grid is focused, press Control and A to select all, then press delete to get rid of them. Press B to get your pencil tool up, or click up here, look, to highlight the pencil tool. And make sure this headphone icon is turned on. It should be blue when it's turned on, or otherwise you won't get any sound. And I'll press these are the slices it's made. It's made 16 slices of the MIDI of the sample. You can click on the corresponding key tab to get a preview. Press B, we've got our pencil tool up, and input a sequence you want. What this will do is it will keep the same tone as the sample but change the rhythm. It leads to more varied sound without being too repetitive. Now play it back. That's pretty good. As you can see, it's changed the rhythm but kept the same tone. That's really good for composition. It allows the track to be more varied without swapping and changing too much to make it disjointed, and it keeps composition, like I said, and it makes it more varied so it's not repetitive, your track. Then what we'll do is we'll right click on this channel, go to duplicate, drag that across to about there so it starts at bar 17. Then what we'll do is we'll click on amp left under audio effects, drag that out onto the new created MIDI clip. What we'll do is we'll highlight these last 4 bars, we'll separate them, and we'll put them, reverse the order, highlight one of the sections, then hold down Control and left click on that one, then right click and consolidate. We've now made on one sample, we've just reversed it, sort of thing, so it's a bit more varied. Then we'll left click on amp and drag it off onto our new melody, right click on the clip, press Control L to loop it so we can just play the sound back. So we've already got amp already on this, so we'll delete that one. We'll click on dual, we'll turn down the volume to say 560. We'll turn off some of the dry wet down to about 65. We'll turn the presence all the way up to 650. Turn the treble down to about 425. Turn the middle down to about 450. Turn the bass down to about 325, and the gain to about 4.35. Then we'll put it on heavy. Now let's play it back. Heavy's not right, so we'll choose one. We'll have it on clean, but we'll turn up some of the dry wet back to say back to 85%. No, we'll actually put it on 75% of the dry wet. And then we'll left click on the audio effects on auto filter, drag that out onto the melody. What we're going to do here, we'll drag auto filter before the amp. Of course, Ableton reads the effects on your effect rack from left to right, so it'll do the drums first, so the melody slices first, then the EQ, then the auto filter, then the amp. They come in order from left to right, which ones it processes first. What you're going to want to do is make sure you expand the loop selection out a bit. Then you're going to want to have a bit of space leading up to, you're going to have a bit of a countdown. Make sure none of the channels are armed. See this red box here? Make sure every channel looks like that, otherwise it records over it rather than being able to automate it. What we're going to do is we're going to set this frequency on the auto filter down to about 500 Hertz. And what we're going to do is when we press record, when the play cursor gets to the beginning, we're going to go slowly up in frequency, and by the time it gets to the end of the clip, the 8-bar sample, we should be sitting on somewhere between 13 to 14 kilohertz. And what this effect is actually going to allow us to achieve is that it'll start off slightly unclear, and by the time it gets to the end, it'll be clear again. It's used a lot in dance music on melodies and vocals. So that's the effect we're going for now. So if we press here, look, and then we press record, we have a little bit of a countdown. Now I'm holding down shift to get a greater degree of control of input. Left click on frequency, but I'm not moving yet until we get to the clip. And I'll judge it. Now we start moving it, look. As you see, there's a red dot on there. Now it means it's automated. Ooh, I'm still going up. Now I want to speed up because we've got to try and get up to 13, 14 kilohertz before it finishes. There you go, it's perfect. Now if we play that back, it down here moving, that's what we just did, the automation. That's that. Next, what we want to do, we're going to create a drums now. So we create, insert MIDI track, highlight 8 bars, by left clicking, dragging across 8 bars, right click in the highlighted area. I'm going to insert MIDI clip. We'll drag the MIDI clip across so it starts on bar 9 all the way up to bar 16. Press Ctrl and L. We'll come to instruments. We will have an impulse. Let's click on impulse and drag it out onto a new MIDI clip. And you have 8 banks here, look. Therefore 8 one shots. You can have the 8 one shots. And the volume here is for the respective individual bank. And this is the overall volume of the whole impulse rack. So what we want to do is come down to our samples, come down to one shots, and select a kick, any kick you like. I like number 5, so I'll have number 5 in there. You can preview it by clicking the play icon. Then we'll have a snare. I like that one. Put that in bank 2. And on the volume over here, this volume, we'll turn the snare up to say 3.49. Then we'll get a hi-hat. That, no, 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 no. Yep, 6 is pretty good. We'll have 6 and we'll turn the hi-hat all the way up to say 503. Then we'll have a crash. Number 2 is pretty good. Actually, front. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that, number 2. Then we'll turn the crash up just a little bit, up to about 1.54. Play them all back. That's quite good. We'll turn the decay up on that to about 3.72, so it's got a bit more of a tail on it, so it lasts a bit longer. We can just turn that down a fraction again to about 3.50. We'll turn the decay up on the hi-hat to about 303. turn the decay up on the snare to about 275. Sounds meaty now. I'll leave the kick as it is. We'll just turn the decay down on the kick to about 190. Perfect. Then what we want to do, make sure this empty MIDI clip is highlighted. I'll click down the MIDI box down here. So you've now got access. You can see the impulse. This is the impulse, and all the instruments you've just previously loaded are now available on the MIDI clip. Make sure the headphone icon is turned on, highlighted blue, or you won't get any sound. And you can play back. You can preview the individual one shot by clicking on the corresponding keypad. This will be a crash. That'll be a hi-hat, snare, and kick. Right click anywhere on the grid and go to 1/16 note. Put a kick. Make sure your pencil tool's highlighted by pressing B or coming up here. Look, make sure it's turned on. Put a kick on bar 1, then on 1.2. I'm getting the numbers from up here. Look, where it says 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So we put the next one on 1.3, 1.4, number 2, 2.2, 2.3, and 2.4. Then the snare we'll have one here. We'll miss a gap and we'll have one there. Miss a gap and put one in the middle of the 2 kicks there. Then we'll put a snare there and a snare there. Then hi-hats, we'll have a hi-hat there, one there, one there. If I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video and study exactly where I'm placing these. Take your time if you need to. Put a hi-hat there and one there. Then right click anywhere on the empty grid. Right click and click on one bar. Then click on the first bar for the crash. Then right click on the grid again and go to 1/16 note. Make sure it's focused. Press Ctrl and A to select all. Then press Ctrl and D once, Ctrl and D twice, and Ctrl and D 3 times. As you can see, it's perfectly filled up the 8-bar clip, sorry. Now what we want to do, since that's a bit repetitive, come to where it says bar 5, put an extra snare there, take that hi-hat out, come to bar 7, take that snare out, put a hi-hat there, put a snare there, get rid of that hi-hat, put a hi-hat there, one there, and get rid of that one. Now if we play that back, solo it, so we just hear the drums. As you can see, that's our basic. Sorry about that, that's just updating bias protection, being an idiot. Now what we want to do, we want to EQ our beat. So we'll click back on the MIDI clip, come to audio effects, drag off an instance of EQ8 by left click and drag it onto the drum channel. Then we'll play it back. Look for the kick, it should be around 40 Hz to 80 Hz. You can see it here, look, peaking where the arrow is. As it peaks, so we'll click on band 1. We'll move the frequency about there, say about there actually. And then we'll turn the gain up to about 370 and put the Q all the way up to 17.5. Then click on band 2, move it down to where you think the bass is. So the bass is usually about 80 Hz. We're doing this so the drum and the bass don't conflict, and it makes it less congested so more of the instruments will come through that are overlapping the drums, and it makes the compressor work less hard. I'd say it's happening about there. Then we'll down the gain to about 250 and turn the Q all the way up to 17.5. Then we'll click on band 3, move that down to about 500 Hz. Turn down the gain to about 305 and up the Q to about 9. Then click on band 4, make that frequency on 1 kHz, 1000 Hz, 1000 Hz and a kilohertz. drop that ever so slightly to about 0.74. Turn up the Q to about 6. Then click on this drop down box here for number 4 and select this preset. Then click on the box, actually box number 5 to drop in another EQ band. It'll drop it somewhere about there. Make sure it's highlighted number 5 and put that on 2.5 kilohertz. That's a really good presence level. I've done some experimenting. I found that the best presence level. Then we'll turn the gain up to 2 decibels and put the Q on about 750. Then we'll get another EQ band, number 6, click the box on number 6. Then turn up to 18 kilohertz. Then click on the drop down box for number 6 and click on this one right for the high end brick wall. Turn the scale up to 105, put the gain down to 0.3 decibels. Then what we'll do is get the drums a bit fatter. We'll click on audio effects, we'll go to audio effect rack, drop down arrow on that one, go to mixing and mastering and look for something called boombox drums. Not big boom master, but boombox drums. Left click on boombox drums, left click and drag it out onto your drums. As you see, that's now made the drums louder, the snare more crispier, and the hi-hat more prominent, but it's a bit too loud at the moment because it's distorting. So the one we're going to take notice of is the saturated drive. We'll move that down to say 8.25. That's perfect. We don't have to touch anything else. That's what we do. Right click on the intro melody, the first one, the sample. Right click, go to duplicate. Drag that out over here. Then come to the edge of the clip on the blue bar where it's got its name sample. So you get half an eye icon like that. Then left click, you have to drag, expand it, loop it, or shorten it, whatever you want to do. But I suggest this because we're going to use frequency shifter to bring in our build up. So make sure it's just one bar, and we'll just expand the loop selection. Click here, so we've got some run up space. Then click on audio effects and drag out by left clicking an instance of frequency shifter. Similar in the manner of how we created the automation for the melody, for the auto filter. We'll have some run up space, then we'll press record, make sure nothing's armed on the channels. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slowly hold down shift and we're going to slowly move this frequency here up. By the time it gets to the end of the one bar, it should be sitting between 200 Hz to 500 Hz. Try not to go too fast, but don't go too slow either. So press record, it goes by pretty quick. I'm now holding shift, left clicking, but I'm not moving just yet, so it gets to the beginning of the clip. Now we can go. And that, it ended on 308. So if I unsolo this channel and solo this, you see what we're doing now. Hear that? So if we play it back. Then what we'll do is we'll left click, we'll drag this over by holding down control, so we've got another instance of our drums. We'll click on that one there we just created, click on the MIDI clip down here, click on it to focus it, press Control and A to select all, then press delete. Then make sure you highlight, you're on your kick and make sure your pencil tool's out. Then what we'll do, we'll put a kick there, and one here. Then right click, go to 132 and pen it in that much. That'll make we're building a drum roll, we'll actually make it a snare roll in a minute. That means it's going really fast there. And we right click, go to 1/16th note, miss a gap, put one there, miss a gap, put one there, miss a gap. Keep doing this process for a little bit. Just watch what I'm doing and repeat it. Pause the video if you need to. No, we don't want it there. Then we miss 2 and have 1. Miss 2 and have 1. Miss 2 and have 1. Do that again for a little bit. Just copy exactly what I'm doing. Then we'll have one like this. Then we'll have one like this. Put one at the end there. Now when we hit play it back, we'll just collapse all these channels so we've got some space to work with. What we'll do is go back to our samples and come down to SFX, click on uplifters. We'll choose this one, drag that out there, then we'll click on the sample, come to its properties, click on warp, then warp again so it sets it to 128 BPM. That's what our tap is, by the way, for this EDM track is 128, that's the standard tempo for EDM. Then click on beats, drop down, go to texture. And we'll shrink that down, put a bit of fade on it to drag it out to about there. And then we'll just turn this sample down to about -9. Turn the channel down so it's about -9. Now I play it back. What we will have to do, since the volume is not set properly from transition from melody to melody, because when you create a MIDI clip out of a sample, it always reduces the volume by about 6 or 7 decibels. So what we want to do to fix that is come to audio effects, left click on utility and drag out off into this melody here, the second melody, and turn the gain on the utility all the way up to 7 decibels, and left click and hold down control and drag it out onto the second melody and let go of the mouse first so you copy it rather than move it. Now when we play that back, we'll turn up the riser to 7 decibels or 7.5 minus. What we're going to do is click on the drum roll, click on the MIDI clip so you can see it again. Make sure your pencil tool is not highlighted, turn it off. Then left click and drag a box all the way across your kicks. So you highlight them all, you can press Ctrl and A if you want. Then left click and drag up one, keeping them in the exact same position, up to the snare. Drag up to the snare. Now you see we change it into a snare roll, sounds better. It's like this. This melody can be turned up to say 10 or 10.5. This frequency shifter 1 bar melody grid can be turned up to 3 decibels. We'll play it back. Then we'll click on the drums like we created earlier. We'll left click and hold down Control, copy it across, cut off 4 bars, click on that sample, click on that, and then left click and drag out so you can see the whole thing. This here, where it's highlighted, that's the section we're working on. We just highlight all these, delete all them, and then what we want to do, make sure down the bottom left click, drag a box out over the kick, so you highlight all the kicks and delete that. That is now our percussion. So if we play that back, look. What we will do before we play that back is go to samples and come down to, say, downlifters. Like number number 4, so we'll drag that out and put it right at the beginning of our track on bar 1, but we'll turn that down to, say, the channel to -9 decibels. Now play it back. We'll turn up, say, -7.5. Start that again. That's pretty good so far for our intro. What we'll then do is drag our drums out. So they sit on bar 9, hold down Control and left click and drag to bar 9. Then we'll highlight the last bar of the drums. Just drag it across to replace that section. Then highlight the whole clip. Right click and consolidate so now it's one MIDI clip. Drag that across by holding left click and Control. Miss a bar, then drop it down. Hold down Control and left click, miss a bar and drop it down. Then we'll go to impacts. Number 3 is good. We'll put that here on bar 17 and we'll turn that down, say, -1 decibel, see if that comes in now. Go ahead and turn it up to, say, -0.5 decibels or -0.7. We'll put the impact again, left click and hold down Control to reduplicate, let go of the left mouse button, put it on bar 25. We'll highlight all these drums again and we'll drag them over so now they're on bar 27. And we'll drag that and we'll turn it off, drag it down to there and put a little bit of fade on it. Drag it back out a bit more, sorry, put not that much fade. Then what we do, my favourite part, the switch. We're going to look for another melody. I'm going to go to drum fills first actually, find a good drum fill. Not even good enough. Drop it there, collapse, decrease it by 1, left click and hold Control and duplicate it over here and then over here. Turn it up, say 3.5, we'll just play it back now. Bit too much, down to 1.5. Yeah, that's still a bit too much, so down to 0.5. Still a bit too much. We'll turn it all the way down to minus 1.5. Sorry to keep messing about, but we'll turn it up to minus 1. That's perfect. Now what we'll do is look for another melody. Come to melodies. I'll see what melody number that was. Melody number 7. Bear with me while I find the sample. I think we found the one. 77. We'll drag that out here. We'll click on first melody. We'll come down to the effects channel, so it's just got an EQ on it. We'll left click, hold that Control and let go of the mouse button on this melody so it copies it rather than moves it. Then we'll right click on that sample and go to slice a new MIDI track. Leave it on half note and built in. Click OK. Drag it across to there. Drag this 1 bar melody over here and over there. Sorry, there and 1 there. Then collapse that channel. Hold that channel. Come back to this melody so we can get utility. Left click, hold down Control and drag it. Then let go of the mouse button on it. So we've now got the utility. Turn it back up to the right volume. Then what we do is click on this MIDI clip, press Ctrl and L, come down here, right click on the grid, select half note, press Ctrl and A to select all, press delete, make sure the headphones turned on or you won't get any sound, press B to get your pencil tool off or click up here. Remember you can preview the individual slices by pressing the corresponding key tab. Grab that one. I'll just go ahead and lay something down quickly. What we just created. Kept the same tone but changed the rhythm by doing that, so it leads to more varied beats, keeping composition and not being disjointed and not being repetitive. That's why I do this trick. You might want to turn this frequency shifter down to say 1.5. Okay, then we'll go to Audio Effects, left click on Flanger, drag an instance of Flanger up by left clicking and dragging, and place it on second mode. Click back. Turn down the channel. To about -5 to about -6. Turn dry wet down to about 70 or 75 maybe. Turn delay down to about 205. Turn the feedback down just a touch to 0.87 and put the release on near 300 milliseconds. Then we'll get the click on this melody here, and we'll left click by holding control as well, drag up the amp onto this melody, then we'll play it back. We'll turn that, we'll leave. Then we'll turn it up. To -2.5 or 2.3 say. So we'll turn this frequency shifting 1 bar melody loop down to 0.7 or 0.5, sorry. I'll turn this melody maybe to 1.5 plus. Let's see what it sounds like now. Maybe that's 0.5. Then I'll right click on this channel, duplicate that, drag it across, highlight the last 4 bars, drag it out, and just swap them around. Then left click, hold down control, so you can highlight both, right click and consolidate to join them, then drag it back into position over here. Then what we're going to do is click on our MIDI effects and drag out an instance of arpeggiate by left click and dragging across to here. Then what we do is turn the rate up to half note and turn the gate up to say 82. Leave the change the style and put it on up down. Left click on that, press Ctrl L to loop it. Turn the gate down to 75. Right click on the rate for the show automation. Make sure the pencil's highlighted and zoom it from the plus key. Zooming in, we'll undo that move. Right click and make sure you're on half note. And do it accordingly. That'll be on a quarter note. That'll be on a 6, that'll be on an 8, that'll be on a 4, that'll be on a 6, that'll be on a third, not a third, that's not good, we'll have it on 1/8, we'll have it on 1/4, 1/8 and 1/12. Yeah, that's good. Then what we'll do is we'll left click there, press Ctrl and A to highlight all your instruments, then press Ctrl and D. If you want to do a different loop for your if you want to do a different drop for your second drop, feel free to experiment, but I just want to get this tutorial over and done with. So I'm just going to repeat it. Then what we'll do, we'll take this melody out here, look, in the break, we'll take that one out, take that one out, and take that one out, then we'll look for another melody under our samples. That's good. So we'll drag that in there. Drag this one over here, look. Then we'll have 93 here on bar 51, I think it is. Then we'll right click on the sample. I'll go to slice new MIDI track, leave it on half note and built in, let it do its thing, drag it out to there, then click on one of these melodies so you can access the utility. Left click, hold down control and drag out and let go of the mouse button first so you copy it rather than move it. There you go. Then we'll click on that, loop that by pressing Control and L. Then we'll right click on the grid, give that half note, make sure the headphone icon's turned on. Press B, put something down, press Control and A to select all, press delete. And what we'll do is go to Audio Effects and go to Gate, drag that out, and turn the threshold down to say 10. No, sorry, step back. Just solo that a minute. Leave it on 11.7, turn the look ahead on 10 milliseconds, turn the floor down to about 42. That's it for that. Then we'll click on this melody up here, the last melody in the intro, and we'll click on amp, hold down shift, click on auto filter, now hold down control, and left click, dragging both of them out and copying them, not moving them, and drag it out into this melody here, look. Now we let it play from here. Take it off solo. Turn it up, say 25. Get our drums. Oh, it's already been done. We'll duplicate it. Turn that up. Bit quite well out on 3 decibels. Then we'll click on melody. And we'll put the utility on there and drag it across by copying it across like I told you before. Turn down the gain to say 5 decibels. That's on 3 on the channel, so 8 decibels together. Then the gain up to 7.5. Say 8, say 9. Then turn the channel on 2.5. Right click on the frequency over here, we'll click delete automation, we'll turn down the frequency again to say 500 Hertz. Then we'll click somewhere in space. Then we'll press record. Wait there, sorry, no, we'll make sure that's not armed. Make sure nothing's armed. Then we'll press record. Then we'll get ready on the frequency to move it up. Remember, it should sit on 13 to 14 kHz by the time you reach the end of the clip. So we'll start to turn it up now. See it slowly going up in steps. That was perfect. This one, we'll take the gate by holding down left click and control and put it on this melody here. Now we play that back. Put it on 12. Put it on 2.5. Put the floor on 45. Play it back. If it's a bit too much, we'll put it on 41. Okay, 35. Let's try it again. Turn the drums down by 0.1. Turn the drum fills up to 0.5. Then what we'll do is we'll drag the drums. We'll highlight these two, look, the drum fill and the drums, and we'll drag that across by left click and hold down control to about here. Then we'll do the same again to about there, and then we'll highlight all these melodies including the frequency shift of 1 bar sample, and we'll drag those off, and it should start here, look. That's perfect. That's our outro, that is. And then what we'll do is we'll take the down lifter and we'll put it over here where the outro starts, and then we'll take our kick and put it over here. That over here, look, and we'll move that over there and move this over there. Then what we'll do is right click on the channel volume, right click on the show automation, zoom in by pressing the plus key on your numbers on your keyboard, then press B to get your pencil tool out, and we're going to do it in staggered stages from say 2 bars in. So say from about here, make it look like steps, but don't go down too much to begin with. Do it like this, we're just automating. Since the fade on the clip has disappeared, we're going to automate our fade out just by making it look like steps going down, just in small increments. one just here. Look. Now if we hear that back, it's now fading out lovely. There you go. Can I pick up a bit of our outro back? Get our drums popping just a little bit more. What we're going to do is we're going to do some sidechain now. Click on audio effects, click on compressor, and drop it off onto the first melody sample up here. Look. Click on that, then click on the drop down for compressor, click on sidechain. Where it says audio from, click on the no input drop down box and set it to impulse number 5, whatever your drum rack is. Set to your drum rack. If you're using impulse or drum rack, wherever your drums are, point in the direction of your drums. Mine's channel 5, the impulse. That's where my drums are set to. So we'll click on that. Then we'll click on post effects drop down list, and we'll come to boombox drums wet pre-effects if you've used a boombox drum as preset. Then we'll click on EQ. We'll leave it on this one here, look, roll off the low end. Then we'll turn the frequency up to 3.25 kilohertz and turn the Q up to 6.20. Turn the ratio up to 4:1. Put the attack on 0.75 and leave the release on auto. It usually does a pretty good job. Leave it on peak. Click on this tab down there. Put the knee on 5.1. Put a look on 10 milliseconds. And put the threshold to begin with. Put it on -15. And click on this so we can see where it's peaking. Then left click by holding the control as well. Drag it off onto your next melody. Then drag the compressor across on your effects channel. Like I said, it leads you effects from left to right. Your computer, you want the compressor near the beginning as possible. Then we put a compressor on that one by duplicating it. Drag the compressor across here. Left click hold control. Put it on this one. Drag it across. Now put it on this one. Drag it back across to here. Now put it on this one. Drag it across to here. Then what we'll do the same thing, breakdown, put a compressor there, put a compressor here, sorry, turn it back on, drag it out over there, put a compressor there too, and drag it across here. Go ahead and make some sub bass for our drop now. So we click on instruments, then drag our operator to where it says drop files and devices here. It's now a MIDI clip. We'll highlight 8 bars. Right click on the highlighted area, go to insert MIDI clip, and where it's got the numbers down like C3, C2, go down to you see C0, then look on the key tab, and it should tell you the corresponding key. Look for one called D0, that's here, so click on there, expand it out to 1 bar, up to from 1 to 2. It's just 1 bar long. Then press Ctrl and D. Keep doing that until you fill up the clip. You should be able to do it 7 times. Then what we'll do is we'll take 1 unit off there, 2 off there, and we'll just do that all the way across. 1 unit off, 2 units off, 1 unit off. You get the idea. 2, 1, 2. And then we'll turn the bass up to about 5 decibels. Then we'll have to EQ that so it doesn't make our drums muddy. So we can audio effects, drag an instance of EQ8 out onto the sub bass by left clicking and dragging across. Then what we'll do, we'll solo the channel so we see what's happening. Click on that, press Ctrl L to loop it. Yeah, click on band 1. Then what we'll do, we up the gain about 2.79. Then the Q all the way up to 17.5. Click off the box for number 3, we don't need that, and box 4 we don't need. Then click on number 2, drag that out frequency wise all the way up to 12 kHz. And then click on the box down and select this one, raw or the high end brick wall. Turn the scale up to 115 and drop the gain down to about 0.30. Let's clear that back. Not right there. It's our gate. Our gate wasn't set properly. Copy my settings. Turn that channel up 2 decibels. Drag the sub bass out all the way up. Make it last up the length of the whole drop. Then left click and drag holding control and make it last the length of the whole of the second drop. As well as up to there. I'm going to say about here. Just turn that melody down to 2.5. Now 3.7. We'll have this one on 5.5. Let's try it now. Sounds a a lot better. Go back to our samples. We'll use a bit of hip hop loops if we can, some hip hop samples, rap vocals, NYC rap vocals, and we'll have violent.
It's a violent life. You could live to 100, you could die tonight.
We'll drag that out there. Put that there. We'll turn that up, say 3 decibels. We'll drag that out to about here. Then we'll go back to audio effects. Let's click on reverb and drag it off onto there. Click on quality eco, we want high. We want pre-delay on 1.60. Stereo on 120. Decay time on about 250. Size on about 110. Density on 50. Scale on 50. And dry wet on about 15, or say 16. I'll just solo that, make sure it's not too much reverb.
It's a violent life. You could live to 100, you could die tonight.
That's perfect, but the sample's a bit too quick, so we click on that. Click on the sample down here. See it's on 96, we'll click on warp, click on it again, then click on beats, click on complex pro. Drag it across so it's in place. Then we'll highlight it, left click and hold control, drag across there, and we'll turn down the channel now to 1.5. Now it should drop in nicely. Listen, better. Put it off solo.
It's a violent life. You could live to 100, you could die tonight.
Turn it up, say 3.5. And that's the end of our track done. Don't forget to save it before you export. Now what I'll do is I'll just quickly master my track. If you want to master your tracks the way I'm going to do in just a minute, I've got another tutorial in the playlist that tells you how to master your tracks. You've got one tutorial that tells you how to master your track using just the plugins that come with Ableton, but we've got one saying with VSTs. I give away 5 VSTs and I use 4 of those VSTs plus 2 VSTs in Ableton, and it's a much better master if you opt to use that version. The link's in the description in that tutorial. Look for the one that says mastering in Ableton with VSTs. I look for that one, and then you can download the VSTs and follow along in that tutorial on how to master your track. I've already got the mastering chain ready set up, so I click on audio effects, then go to audio effect rack, and it's my Rebel Avenger Pro Master. Drop it on the mastering channel. Let's get rid of this limiter. Let's quickly. That's the mastering done. Quite painless. Now I'll play back the whole track. I'll play the intro, drop 1, the break, and then I might play some of drop 2, which is just the same. I think I might have slightly changed it. So I think I'll play the whole track then. Go on. This is what we've made. This is our track. Enjoy.
It's a violent life. You could live to 100, you could die tonight.
Gone a bit wrong here. I think the gate's to blame. Just turn down your threshold on the gate to make that more pop out a bit better.
It's a violent life. You could live to 100, you could die tonight.
Now into the outro. And that's one completed EDM track. The track weighs in at, the length of the track is about 3 minutes 53 or 3 minutes 54. That's a good single length, that is. perfect size. Well, that's it for this video YouTube. If you like the video at all, please give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Until next time, stay safe, be lucky, Virtual Worlds signing out.